I think that was the quickest time that we've done that. Thank you so much. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone. Happy New Year. It's so lovely to see everyone, and this is a very, very special time for us tonight. Let me just introduce myself for 2026 for those who don't know me. My name is Reem Borrows. I'm from Dream Coaching and Consulting and on the board of the AABC. I'd first like to acknowledge that this evening and this event is being held on the traditional lands of the Durack people of the Eora Nation. I pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging. I also acknowledge the Indigenous people of Palestine and their right for self-determination. Palestine was and always will be Palestinian land. The AABC has always been a vibrant organisation, and I can't tell you how excited we are that this year is a lead up to our 20th year. So there's a lot of special things happening. I say this, I feel like a broken record, but the only reason why this whole organisation was set up nearly 20 years ago, Hassan, nearly 20 years ago, was for our community. We were doing well individually, but together it was seen that we would do even better. And it was recognised 20 years ago that our community needed a safety net of like-minded people who understood business but also understood the immigrants' journey, and also understood the immigrants' journey specifically from our countries. And we have been going 20 years strong for that. In the last few weeks, I think everyone here would agree that now more than ever, we have to unite, we have to come together, and we have to be under the same umbrella. We need all the support needed this year, moving forward, for every single one of our members. And so I would encourage everyone to bring their friends. If they're not yet here, if an Arab business is not here with the AABC, we're not doing them a favour. This year, we mean business. We have been impacted for the last 3 years. Our businesses have been impacted. Our schools have been impacted. Our mindset has been impacted. Time to regain that. So how's that for an opening? Thank you. I am really excited about tonight. I think, for us, I see everything as a gift. We now see everything very clearly. We know what the masks are all off. We know what we can do. We know what we're capable of. And we know how to support each other. So this year, the AABC, and George is going to talk a lot more about that, but this year, the AABC is we're going to work even more closely with government, with businesses, and to build the local international trade relations. Within Australia, the AABC has established a very, very strong working relationship and networking between members, and we're going to continue that. Before we go on, I really want to acknowledge our sponsors. Our platinum members, Mr. Sam and Annette Harb from Sam the Paving Man. Our foundation partner, which is Mr. Joe Risk from Able Bank. Our gold members, Mr. Sam Taliban from Tempe Tyres. I also really want to acknowledge our silver members, Hamden Associates, Naturally Timber, All Star Solutions, TechRam, Sabio Financial Solutions, PFS Accountants, RM Gregory Promo Print, and Civic Lawyers. Now tonight we get to enjoy another beautiful banquet, the meza, and dinner, and each other. We're going to have a lot of fun, but we do have some business to do. The AGM. Now, this man needs no introductions. I have a feeling he's going to pretend to be shy tonight. I don't know how he's going to do it, but I would like to welcome our chair of the AGM, John Meert.
Thank you, Reem. No introduction is required. It's been many, many years. I'm one of the older statesmen. It's been many years since I've had to stand here. It's an honour and a privilege to be standing here again to welcome you all. Most of you are very dear friends from many, many years ago, and I am proud to call you friends and to be associated with you. And I'm very, very happy that this organisation has grown into the dynamic influencer, and I suppose it's serving the needs of our community, the business and social needs, and it will continue to do so. And my job tonight is very simple. Firstly, I don't know whether there are any apologies for absences. If not, I am asked to. I thought I've always been too loud for microphones, Hassan. They can hear me a mile away without that. Thank you. Can I? I think the minutes of the meeting have been circulated, and of the previous meeting, and I guess the secretary will sign those. Somebody will, and I am now going to ask George. Is he around? Hello, George. Would you like to come up, George, and present your report? Thank you very much.
Okay, so just to formally acknowledge, John, I did have a slide with your name on it, so thank you, John, for being the chair of the AGM for the Australian Arab Business Council. Big round of applause for John for filling this role for us over here. So you would have seen the annual report that would have been circulated. If not, please go see Jo Wazi. She'll be able to find you a copy. And this just outlines briefly what we've done during the year, particularly what we've done with your money, and of course what our plans are for the future, for 2026 in particular. So one of the things that I always boast about is the diversity of our network, the fact that we're reaching out to different people in different size groups, in different industries, and bringing them together into this organisation. And as we move forward into 2026, and we do celebrate our 20th anniversary, we do have that announcement ready lined up. We're going to be making a few changes, and some of these changes might not be comfortable at first, but nonetheless, these changes need to be made so that way we can sustain ourselves for another 20 years as well. And if we did not have such a great team, such a great board, and of course with Jo Wazi working closer together in 2025, we would not be in this position where we can start making big changes, big moves in the community, because I guess now more than ever, the Australian Arab business community really does need to we need to unite. I thought I'll say that a bit more eloquently for that important statement, but nonetheless, I think the message is being conveyed. We really do need to come together so that way we can show what we can do and we can highlight the needs of the community. So more about the report in the document, please do give it a good read. We spent a bit of time drafting it up, so it should be a good read as well. So thank you very much, and on to you, John.
Thank you, George. You've been the backbone of the team, George, and you've done such an excellent job. I'm sure the membership will all agree with me without any doubt. Thank you. Can I... Yes, big round of applause for George. And can I now call on Jeanette Haddad to present the Treasurer's report, please?
Thank you, John. Good evening, everyone. My name is Janet Samawi, Haddad Samawi, and principal of DSJ Taxation Accounting Services. And today I'm standing in front of you as Treasurer of Australian Arab Business Council to present the financial year ending 30th of June 2005. The principal activity of the association during the financial year: business networking, training, promotion, and high-profile exposure. As an overview of the association, the Australian Arab Business Council achieved a positive financial outcome for the year 2025, recording a surplus of $5,677 compared to last year deficit of $923. So a great achievement, even though the turnover of the association this year lower than last year, but we managed to reduce our expenses and to reach a surplus for this financial year. This year is a very special one for the Australian Arab Business Council as we celebrate our 20th anniversary, 2 decades of supporting and connecting the business community. Also, by December 2025, we will reach our 200th meeting, a milestone that reflects the association. It's a milestone that reflects the association's long-term commitment and growth. So I would say congratulations for the founding members, congratulations to the members and to our guests. The board is working very hard to organize a gala dinner later in the year to mark these important achievements. So keep your eyes open. It's going to be a big function to celebrate the most achievable for the association. The 2025 board members is our famous President George Busamra, Basil Hashim as a vice president, Janet myself as a treasurer, Reem Burrows, board members, Reem Burrows, Rodney Hamdan, Malak Takshi, Victor Khalil, Rhonda Adam, Sam Darwish. Also, we had Batul Kayat. She resigned on the 12th of June 2025. Nancy Tannous resigned on the 3rd of September 2025. Now we're going to start the fun part. Our income summary. Our total revenue for this financial year is $66,561. Membership receipts, $66,535, and interest income, $26. There were no sponsorship income for this financial year compared to last financial year in 2024. We had $3,355. Expenses for this financial year is the total expenses $60,884,000. Major item expense, our monthly dinner event, which is $53,453. Administration, $3,600. Subscription, $1,713. And our telephone bills is $753. ATO interest, $1,365. Expenses decreased for this financial year comparing to prior financial year. We come to our financial position, which is our balance sheet. As at 30th of June 2025, our cash in the bank is $16,219. It's up from $8,476 last financial year. Our total asset, $16,296. Our total liabilities, 14,547, which is mainly our GST ATO account, which is now we are working with the tax office to pay it by installment so we can have cash flow available for the association. Our net asset equity is 1,749 surplus. That's improved from last financial year's deficit of 3,928. Committee notes, no major changes in the activities during the financial year. The association remains financially stable and able to meet obligations. As a conclusion, the 2025 financial year reflects a return surplus, stronger cash reserves, reduced expenses, and a positive net asset position. With the upcoming 20-year anniversary and 200th meeting and a gala dinner planned, AABC entered the new year in a strengthened financial and operation position. Thank you for the opportunity to present 2025 financial report. And finally, we would like to acknowledge and thank our sponsors, members, and foundation members for their ongoing commitment and support. If you have any questions, please address. And thank you. Thank you, Jean.
Well, thank you very, very much, Jeanette, for that and for the good news. Gone are the old days when we struggled to pay the bills and we're in positive territory, all of which is a credit to the hard work of the board and the membership. And I'd like now to ask that all the reports, well, the two reports, be adopted. And can I have the mover? And thank you, Hussein, and a seconder. Thank you, Hassan. And now it's time to elect the new board. I assume that the current board will have resigned by now, and I'm going to call on my colleague and very good friend, the ever-smiling, the ever-happy face of Hussein Hussein. Ahla.
Good evening, ladies. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Can you hear me? Yeah? Okay, thanks. First, let me tell you what I'm the returning officer for 2026. The responsibilities of the returning officer is to make sure that all the legal aspects of the annual general meeting are in accordance with the Constitution. The association have made some amendments to its Constitution on the 14th of November 2012. We have received 9 different nominations. I've made sure that all those nominations are in accordance with the Constitution and in accordance with the amended Constitution. We'll proceed now with the normal process. I now declare all the previous positions as vacant, and declare that the association, the secretary, have received 9 different nominations. I will read the nominations. There won't be any any challenge to any position. So all the positions are basically will be filled by the people who already have sent their nomination forms. The nomination forms have been sent in accordance with the Constitution, and they have been signed and witnessed in accordance with the Constitution. So legally, there is, say for a minor issue with regard to the date of the AGM, in accordance with the Constitution, it has to be done with 6 months from the financial year. Okay. Obviously, it's a couple of months. It can be rectified by a resolution from the members, and I do advise the new members to rectify it by a special resolution. That this is only for exceptional situation, and next time hopefully we can make the AGM on time. We have received 9 nominations. As I said previously, and the nominations and the positions are as follows: 1. George Bousamra for President. Congratulations, John. Samih Sayed for Vice President. Congratulations. Jinan Isa for Secretary. Congratulations. Janet Samawi for Treasurer. Victor Khalil for Board Member. Malak Takashi, also Board Member. Sam Darwish for a Board Member. Reem Burrows is the Assistant Secretary, and I believe that this position was added in the amendments of the 14th of November 2012. Congratulations. And the last but the least is Sam Ayubi for a board member. Now, I have to throw this. We have one position available. I don't really know for a board member. If anyone from the financial members is interested, please, can raise your hand, and you will be added as a board member. Thank you. Anyone? Any takers? No? Okay, well, congratulations to the new board, and if you can come over and have a photograph for the new board members. Thank you. Thank you. Congrats.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we please give the board members and, of course, the John Mate a massive round of applause for a very successful AGM. If I can have your attention a bit more, this is where I'd like to address the board's plan for 2026. Elizabeth Keith, sorry. So on the back page of our annual report, you will see that we actually have a vision, a strategy for 2026. Sorry, Mr. El-Qudsi. Oh, how you going? Just 2 minutes, then you can cuff me. So on the last page, we actually have our strategy for 2026, and the reason why this one's important is because we've put it on paper, almost set in stone, about what the board promises to deliver and what I promise to deliver for 2026 in our 20th year. Now, March, easy stuff, Haney. We plan to finally launch the new website, and we really are grateful for all those who are the custodians of that website, and particularly to Sharbel Tedros for helping us manage it to this point. But we've now come to a moment where we want this platform to be a way to attract new members and also manage the membership. And we are only a month away from making that happen. And the board will be working hard in order to do so. In April, we would like to introduce a new membership tier called the affiliate membership. So this allows people, it's a lower point of entry, allows people to be affiliated with our organisations, not exactly direct members, but an affiliate member. It's a non-voting tier that actually helps people feel as if they're a part of this Australian Arab business community. And by doing so, we need to make a few changes to the Constitution. So during our April meeting, we will be holding an extraordinary general meeting in order for us to do so. We'll be changing a section in that, also be following through in other sections as well. In May this year, so soon after that, through the efforts of the Arab Council of Australia, we'll be doing the road trip to Canberra. So we'll be heading out to Canberra to meet with the Council of Arab Ambassadors Coalition and, of course, with some of the politicians there at the time to really discuss what are the needs of the Australian Arab business community, and then we'll be making a big announcement. And that big announcement is in August. We'll be hosting a trade conference in Lebanon. So since people... Thank you. Yeah. It's a big deal. So since people will be in the Middle East and Lebanon during that time anyway, we thought, you know what, let's have a little trade conference there. Let's establish good relationships with the business councils in that area. And as our Vice President mentioned to me the other month, we actually do have members of our organisation residing in Lebanon. And it will be a great way for us to reach out to them in our 20th year in order to build that connection and build that solidarity. So that is the big mission for August, is to do the trade conference in Lebanon. And I'm sure many of you will be making the trip over there anyhow. We'd like to bring it all together. Straight after that, in December, we'll be hosting our 200th networking event to celebrate our 20 years. It's only fitting to do that in December as a big gala dinner, as mentioned by our Treasurer, Jeanette. And hopefully by then we'd have healthy numbers and we'll be able to fill a room to celebrate those moments. And we'll really reflect on what the last 20 years meant and where we'll be heading for the next 20 as well. So please do have a read, and please do hold us accountable to this strategy for this year. And looking forward to running this journey with you all. Thank you very much.
How very exciting. How many people do you think will be in Lebanon around that time? I need to see more hands up than that. We look forward to seeing you in Lebanon. I might need a lawyer or two for me, personally, to see if I can get into Lebanon, but we'll have a look. Anyway, I'd love to go. It's a dream of mine. My favourite part of the evening, and this is our favourite part of the evening, tonight, every Arab business person's dream is around tax tips and traps for 2026. So I hope you've got your pens and papers out. Hanny, you're going to be asking some great questions afterwards, so you better be listening. You better get your pen out. We've got one of the best presenters here. I haven't met Sam Ayubi properly, but I do believe he's got a great sense of humour as well. His name, just for anyone who might be confused, you spell it S-A-M. S-A-M. He wanted me to make sure I was doing it correctly. So apparently accountants, and my accountant as well, have senses of humours. So this is absolutely fantastic. Now, tonight, Sam, I'm sorry you asked for it with that. You really did. Well done. But I'm so pleased to have Sam with us tonight. He's from AHS Legal, and he's going to be coming to speak to us after he has 25 years' experience. And Sam is a patron of AHS Legal and is a chartered accountant, lawyer and strategic advisor. From advising the ATO to the Australian Government Solicitor to guiding Big Four consulting firms, Sam specialises in the complex and the novel. He's going to be breaking it down to the essential tips and traps for us for 2026. That's why I really mean it. Get your pens out, get your papers out, get ready for questions afterwards, and please give a very, very big round of applause for Sam Ayubi.
Does this take the weight of a cup? Yes. All right. Okay. Hello. I think there's only the projections there and there. So when we do the visuals, you might have to find a project. Can everyone hear me? All right. Is that better? I can't tell the difference. Okay. Yeah. So you just have to find the screens because we got visual aids because I thought it would be better with some diagrams. People might have laughed at the comments around, tax being exciting and fun, and I heard a lot of giggles in the audience. But I want to share with you before I start what happened to me when I sat down at the table today. Is before I'd even started with the kibbinayi, someone at the table, I won't identify them. First thing they said to me was, because they were so excited, and it was like the level of excitement I haven't seen before, and they said to me, can I talk to you about tax? And I'm like, sure, should we introduce ourselves and, exchange names and pleasant? He's like, no. And then he launched into his tax issue. His or her tax issue. I don't know. So I just want you to sort of relieve yourself of the veneer that tax is not cool and, you're a nerd if you like tax, because I would say to you that if there is one thing we all have in common, it's that we all have at least one tax issue constantly on our mind. And so hopefully I'll solve 4 of them today, and then I'll create a few extras, and so you won't go home. You won't go home any lighter than what you came with. Another thing, just to correct or just to explain from George saying, well, we're all going to be in Lebanon anyway. No, we're all going to go there solely for the conference, and therefore our flights will be deductible because the purpose the purpose of the trip is the conference, right? We're not throwing on some conference just because Lebanon's awesome in summer, all right? And my mum's taking me to her childhood home for the first time since we left Lebanon in 1977. We're not doing anything like that. For example, what we're doing is we're going for the conference. And if we happen to go to Batroun and swim in the ocean for 9 days straight, well, that's on your conscience. But we went for the conference. Your Honour is why we were there. Okay, so now here is the stuff. Oh wait, we should dwell on that's the firm there. Okay, so look, what everyone sort of works out in tax is a couple of the big sort of areas that don't tax you in Australia. We tax you when you earn it. We tax you when you invest it, if you get that lucky. And then when you happen to pull it out and have to buy food for your family or catch the train or put petrol in your car, we tax it again. If we want to put it in super, we say we won't tax you on the way in. But have you tried to get it out? So we like to find taxes on everything in Australia, and there is a tax. I tell people about this tax. I want you to, if you've got a business, don't wreck it for everyone else. But there is a tax in Australia where if someone's desperate for a job and you have a business and you give them a job, we're going to tax you for that. Does anyone know what that tax is called? Look at this. Payroll tax. When I explain that to people, they're like, what do you mean you tax me if I give someone a job? I'm like, yeah, we tax you 6% if you give someone a job. So what people work out is there's probably only 1 or 2 areas you don't pay tax. And the one that you don't pay tax on that everyone knows about is called the main residence exemption. If it's my house and I live there, or if I send my mail there, then that's my main... that's my... That was a good joke. And it was a joke. No one does that. So I'm just saying, sometimes I come up with outrageous comments like that one. And so this is our house, our place of love, and we're like, wow, you know, if I sell this thing and it's my house, and this is, all, by the way, all 4 things we're talking about tonight, the ATO is focusing on, so that's why I'm bringing them up, for 2026. So if I have a house like that, and I'm like, oh, you know what I've got around my house? Some people are lucky enough, not me. They have this thing called land around their house, and I'm like, wow, there's land around my house. So maybe what I could do, it's called adjacent land in the law, maybe what I could do is do something with that land. And what they realise is, well, but if I do something, it's my main residence. And the big mistake they make is they subdivide like that. Maybe I'll just, put it back up. So they subdivide with a big black line down the middle, and they go, I'll just flog off that piece of land, which used to be part of my sort of home empire, my precinct, my compound kingdom. And so they don't realise that's not actually part of your house anymore. So if you sell that, you're going to pay tax. So then they think, all right, well, I'll just go for the whole lot. I'll just build myself a duplex. Has anyone ever heard about this? No? Anyone? Sort of, so 2 houses side by side, but on the, And then they sort of draw down that line down the middle again with that duplex, and they go, oh, well, I'll sell the one that used to be on the land that my house was on, because that was where my house land was. That's pretty close. Like the one on the right is not really, no one ever lived on that. It was the backyard. But if I sell the one that's on the land where my house was, maybe I'll get that. But you've never lived in the property. So what do you have to do? Don't guess, because I don't want anyone to wreck it for me making this joke. But what you could do is you could live in one of them and sell the other one and pay tax on the one that you don't live in. ATO is looking at that. What you might think about doing and quickly realise not a good idea, but you might live in one, rent out the other one, then sell the one you're living in, and then move into the one you were renting, and then live in that one, and then sell that one. Like you live in the left, rent out the right, and then you sell the one you're living in and kick out the people that are renting the right, and then you move into the right, and then you sell that. And it's all tax-free. Well, the ATO likes to do nothing about that for about 5 years. Because you know what people don't do with their houses that they do with their investments or their jobs or the $5,000 they might have lent to their cousin? Is they keep those records that help them explain what happened. But when it's your house, you don't do that. You don't keep your water rates and your mortgage statements and all that. And so the ATO likes to just sit there, sit back, wait for you to sell everything, and then hit you after 5 years and go, hey, what was that house? And you're like, oh, it was my main residence. You're like, oh, really? Did you live there? Yeah, lived there, yeah. Great home, actually. I didn't want to sell. But the neighbours who were actually renting off me were such bad neighbours that I had no choice but to sell the one I was living in and then kick them out and then move to that one. And then the people I sold to were also bad neighbours, and so I moved out from there as well. And so it was a bad run, Commissioner. And then he's like, prove it. How do you prove you lived somewhere? Like this one you can answer yourselves, but how would you prove you actually lived somewhere?
All the bills.
Bills? Anyone can send bills anywhere. Yeah, you can. I can send them anywhere, and then I can just do a change RMS. No, register my car anywhere I want. I mean, if I own the property, I can register it. Like, who's going to stop me? They're not going to say you don't own it. They do a land title. They say, oh, it's in the name of.
Take a selfie with the house.
That's it. You take a selfie with the house. Your daughter's 18. You have a massive party. Whenever someone gets invited to my house, they always get lots of photos. You know, why are you taking photos of me, Sam? Oh, I need records for my taxes. But if you've sold the house and you didn't do that, what are you going to do? You're going to sneak back in and say to the buyer, hey, look, funny story, mate. You know, before you bought this, I lived here and we had some great memories, and now the ATO is trying to tell us we can't prove it. And so could we just take a few family shots just in your lounge room and maybe just have a quick party out the back? Maybe spray each other with the hose, you know, like, it's a hot day. No, you can't do that, sorry. So the ATO's onto us. So, all right, so that's not going to work. So don't be silly with duplexes. Easy lesson, all right? I don't want to spend too much time. Here's another one. If you're doing a bit of a bigger development, if anyone's into the property stuff, one that's happened lately is you want to get a builder to build on your land, and you want them to build on your house, which is the orange sort of left-hand side, and the builder's the green guy, I think. By the way, very racist. This was from a tax ruling, very racist. I've already filed correspondence. Can everyone see the name of the entity there? Green Acres. That's from the ATO ruling. They might as well have put 2190 afterwards. Like, honestly, like, seriously. Like, all right. Very funny. And what's the guy's name? Mo. And the builder's Abdul. Like, you know, this is, you know, they're clearly targeting us, I'm telling you. So, anyway, the blue entity should not exist. It's an entity that you just put there to do the development. But if you're hiring the builder yourself and everything, you shouldn't be putting entities for nothing. So, get advice on that one. It's a bit more complicated, so I want to move on from that. But everyone knows about payroll tax, so I'm gonna hit you with payroll tax. Has anyone heard of this thing called subbies? Does anyone know subbies? Yeah. Subbies. And you know when they get, so this is an easy one. You know your client wants to get someone, so they engage you. You're the agent, and then you go and get subbies to work on their site. And because you're paying the subbies, even though they're not your employees, you have to pay payroll tax on your subbies, because you're paying the subby to work for the client. So Revenue New South Wales is looking at this now as well, and they're even threatening us with the following diagram. This one here, what if my subby hires another subby? So I do a bit of, you know, whatever the service is. I don't know what happens on sites. Yeah, this is it, man. This is it. Yeah. Section 41, if that's what you were thinking. Just confirming. So no, it's not good news. It's tax tips and traps. Each one of these is a trap. The tip is to not get trapped. So don't do these things. So if you hire subbies, you gotta make sure that you pay the payroll tax on that, or just Don't hire the subbies. That's the Revenue New South Wales position. I'm just telling you, this is what they're doing, right? This is what they're coming after. So look, don't shoot the messenger. I'm here to help. If I wasn't, I would just hide in the shadows and wait for you to get audited. And then you pay my audit hourly rate, which is higher than my pre-audit hourly rate. So I'm helping you out. My pre-audit rate is nil. You get this for free. People pay good money for this, except at home. So no one likes this when I talk about it at home. So thanks for being a good audience. So this is the subby stuff, but I want to give you now the breakdown. And there's one more slide. It's not really that important, and then we sort of get in touch. But I want to give you the rundown of the 4 other things that will affect all of us, regardless of if we have a business or not. Big targets from the ATO. So first, that's a QR code does work, but I think it goes to my company's LinkedIn page. I don't think it goes to my website. But what about people that have jobs? Not businesses, but jobs. So one of the things we're able to get away with at the moment, because employers are really scared of telling us what to do now, because you can't find anyone. Has anyone else had this problem? Can't find workers, right?
So you go to the subby, then you get pay tax.
Yeah, you pay tax on the subbies, and then they find you a worker, and you pay tax again. But you can't find workers. So if you find someone, you let them do whatever they want. Best idea. It's like having another child. Sort of tell them what the rules are, and then they break them. But one thing people like to do is work from home. And then they think to themselves, oh, if I work from home and I set aside a room in my house to work from, I can claim part of my mortgage and my rent, my water rates, my land tax, all this kind of stuff. You're not in business, by the way. Remember, you're not in business. You're just a salary or wage employee. My view is that is still okay. But my view is unpopular. The tax office, who's even less popular than me, if you can believe it. They are. They're the only people that are less popular than me at the moment at the tax office. Tax office thinks if you have a place of work available to you outside your home, then you are using your home for convenience. Now, I know a few people here in a similar situation to me. Married, kids, spouse works from home, daughter at uni. She's the A in AHS, her name's Aisha. Daughter at uni likes to stay home as well when she's not at lectures and stuff. If anyone thinks I'm working from home out of convenience, come to my house. Just come. Just come. Just hang out with me. Tell me if you think this is a convenient existence. I kid you not. It is not convenient at all. In fact, it is very inconvenient. But they have put a tracker somewhere in my car, right? An AirTag, my daughter calls it. Is anyone here? So they know where I am anyway. They'll find me. So I might as well just stay home. But they say, here, if you stay home and work from home, 70 cents an hour, which is what I get paid for my job. So I get to deduct 70 cents as well as get paid 70 cents, so I'm up $1.40. So anyone thinking of claiming stuff for working from home, please don't do it if it's a home office thing, unless you're in business. So that's another target area. Last one, people that buy things to flip it and wait the 12 months because they think if I hold something for more than 12 months, I get a discount on my tax because it's more than 12 months. ATO's saying, if you buy something and flip it, you never live in it, you never hold it for a long period of time for some other benefit, we think that you bought it just to flip it. And so you don't get the tax discount. Currently, the ATO top... They think a lot of things.
So they work on thinking.
They do. Yeah, well...
So what makes their thought different than others?
Yeah, well, they have $400 billion in revenue to fight us. So that's they have good lawyers, and
That thing as well.
I think the lawyers think. I don't think the tax office. Different question, but no. Look, so one of the things the tax office does is they use what's called a burden of proof against the taxpayer. So they'll send you an assessment and they'll say, we think this is what happened. You have to prove us wrong. And going back to my earlier comment, what people don't do when they think it's low risk or they think I'm really not doing anything that is like not really like, you know, a problem, is they don't keep good records and they don't get advice. So the ATO comes later. The ATO's got 5 years to come back and get you. It's 4 years, but by the time you lodge your return and everything, it's 5 years. So 5 years from when you actually do something to when the ATO comes back. And in that 5 years, people will lose things, they'll forget things, they won't have things written down. So a lot of this is very frustrating and aggravating, and I don't want to go too long on this. I mean, we could talk about, see what I mean, it's so exciting, you could talk about it all day. But my main tip is that if you're going to do anything where you make money, get advice and get it written down, okay? Get it written down, get written advice. So especially if it's a large quantum for you, so selling your house, selling a big investment, you're going to claim something that's part of your job. You know, we're not talking about going and getting advice every time you buy a pen and it's $4.50 and, you know, did I use it for work? Like, we're not talking about that. We're talking about big transactions. So best thing is to get advice and to keep good records. And your advisor, and there's a few of them in the room and a couple of them that I know well and that I would be happy to trust with my own affairs, will probably tell you that there are certain things that you want to get really good written documentation on, and there are certain things that maybe a good conversation will be enough. So that's the art form of getting that advice. But no, the tax office has their views. I've put sort of 4 or 5 types of things today that they focus on. There's plenty more, but yeah, we could definitely talk about it all day. But just keep good records, especially when you make money. Or lose money that you want to claim as a loss later. So just keep good records all the time, really. Yeah, and anything's a record. Okay, look, that's it. So just to end on a happy note, all right, because I've been a bit dry today, but how good were the Brisbane Broncos in that grand final? Like, I've got... Me and my daughter, we only done ever 2 things together. Number 1 was her birth. I was there at that time. And number 2 was go to the grand final to watch my mighty Bronx win it since the first time she was born in 2005. So, up the Broncos, mate. Oh, I got questions. I'm going to get grilled.
We'll have about 4 questions.
Sam, you started to talk about you buy a resident and you sit on it for 12 months, and then you stop because you got interrupted by the gentleman over there.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't tell us the rest of the story.
Yeah. So look, so there's a couple of things people do that, you know, and we're talking about obviously here people that are lucky enough to have this money to invest. So I know that not everyone's in that position. So, you know, you buy a house, that's different because you live in it, and once you've lived in it for about 6, 12 months, no one's going to fight with you if you lived there, you took photos and did all those things. You know, water rates, council rates, power, internet, phone, electoral roll, licence, car registration, home insurance, contents insurance, all of that lines up. You know, ideally, maybe a noise complaint from a neighbour, police report for, you know, something on the public record as well. That one's easy. But if you happen to, say, get a really good site, piece of land, someone says, oh, you know, we can rezone it and flip it. In theory, I don't know if anyone does this. But you get it rezoned or you get a DA on it and flip it, but you wait the 12 months, so you've held it for more than 12 months. You might even push it out to 2 years. You might even go for 3 years, but you've never done really anything with this land other than buy it, add value and sell. That's a profit-making undertaking or a profit-making scheme or an isolated transaction or something done with the purpose primarily of profit by resale as opposed to profit by rent or dividend or personal enjoyment, right? And so people are often falsely counselled or the best place to get advice other than lawyers and accountants apparently is the pub. And so down at the pub, you know, Graham tells you that he's just flipped a site and made a couple of mil, and his accountant's got him a net tax effective rate of 23.5, happy days. Split it with him and his wife, and everyone goes away. Well, Graham hasn't been audited yet. He will be soon. If anyone knows Graham, please give him my details. He's going to need some help. But yes, anyone that does that. So that's what the ATO is looking at. And they've got, like I keep saying, the ATO doesn't audit you in real time. They don't come to your house the day you sell and go, what did you do? Oh, man, I just had to move out. You know, there's termites. They wait 5 years. By that stage, they've got a good idea. And what you've probably done by the time it's 5 years later is done what? What have you done 5 years later? You did this over 3 years. That's years 1, 2 and 3. The ATO's got until year 8. So what have you done in years 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8? And the ATO hasn't audited you. You don't know they're looking at you. You've probably done it again. So they've come back and they've seen you do it not once, but twice. And so now the first one, if they'd audited you the day you did it, oh, I've only done this once, man. Come on, bad run. But you've probably done it twice and you're probably on your third. And then you might say, well, I just won't do it again. Sure. All right. Go with that. See how you go. Probably say the temptation might get to you. So just think about that. Try to just put yourself in a stronger position as possible. I'm here. I'm on your side. Believe me. Okay? Yeah.
Hi, Sam.
All right. A couple of very, very handsome gentlemen with the first two questions. Do you guys know each other?
You mentioned 5 years a few times, like the taxation changed you up after the 5 years.
Or
Do you have any issues, whether it's sales or doing something, you know, more than 5 or 6 years old?
yeah, look, probably the only thing at the moment that's being looked at over more than 5 years is once they identify something that is recent, that is so bad, that tells them this person's a really bad operator in terms of not, probably a very good operator, that's why he pays no tax, but bad operator in tax operation, they might look at what's called AUSTRAC reports, so cash takings is one big one. The other one is anyone, I don't know, now it's different over the last sort of 6 months, but if you've been down Martin Place, but gold used to be also a big indicator. If you've bought gold, as in just straight gold, not like jewellery, but gold bars, gold bullion, that used to be an indication of something going on, and so they went back. I've had AUSTRAC reports go back about 7 or 8 years at the moment. We got one, what is it, 2018, so that's 8 years. So you'd have to be pretty bad, but yeah, not usually. I would say not usually, but not impossible. Gold and cash.
Thank you. We're going to do 3 more questions, and that is it.
Last,
So
yeah, that's
one
it.
Here, one at this table, and then another one at this table. Thank you.
So, okay, I have a client actually who passed through exactly the same scenario you're talking about, but the twist that the ITO used, the intention of the parties. So what is the intention of the parties? They said that, no, I mean, regardless of what you do, it's true, you lived in it, you've got photos, you've got everything, you've got the removalist invoice, the whole thing. However, your intention was to sell it and to make a profit, not to live in it.
Yeah.
So what do you think of this intention of the parties? What do you say about it?
Yeah. Look, good question. Intention can only be determined from the facts. So there would have to be enough other facts for them to suggest that your intention was something else. And you know, an example would be, and I'm pretty lucky that Aisha is now 20. She's the most powerful thing I have, being a child over 18 who has no other income, which means I can put income in her name. And so if you've got kids that own main residence, or you know, you're putting something in one kid's name, something in another kid's name, and something in your name, and you know, there's facts like that looks like, you know, the three of them are all, you know, Aisha doesn't really have any source of income other than me, so how did she afford the deposit on the house? And, you know, all these things that come up, right? So using the example of intention of where to live, you know, would be, well, what's the family home? You know, is it Earlwood? Is it Canterbury? You got, you know, two different properties. Why would you live apart? This looks too suspicious. That's one. Another one is you live there and you just keep changing homes every year, so it starts to look like a bit of a scheme. You renovate your house, you add a bit of value, and then you sell it for a profit. And making money on your home is a great tax scheme because you don't pay tax when you sell your house, right? So, so your intention can be determined from around the actual using the house, right? All the other stuff. So, so yeah, look, I think if you've normally got vanilla circumstances, you probably don't have as much to worry about. But if you're flipping and moving and flipping and moving, and three family members have three different main residences, and you know they're you know that could suggest to the ATO that this person actually looks like they're playing the game of main residence exemptions. You know, so that's where I would say, you know, the best advice is swim between the flags. Try to, you know, I know it's not happy at home, but try to live there for 5 years. Just get through it. You know, if you've raised 2 kids, you've been married, you've renovated, you've been through the hard part. Just wait 2 years. You know.
I did tell a little lie, white lie. We have a beautiful lady who needs to ask a question and a bit of diversity, and then I'll come to you.
Sorry. Okay, so this is actually a question for the lawyers in the room, so Sam and Sam, my other lawyers. The Administrative Review Council, what's your view on sharing submissions with the Secretariat on a system level and not case by case?
I would have no idea. I would have no idea. Administrative Review Council. Do you mean the tribunal or the council?
So there's a council that's been established. They're due to publish a statement of position in 2026, and it's on how to support better implementation from judicial decisions and then agency implementation.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I mean, look, maybe the other Sam has more intelligence on this than me, but I don't. I don't really participate much in those because I think the best way to help a client is to help them with their immediate needs. I don't think the system, you know, without getting too political, if we're going to shut down the city and then hand out all this money and then do stupid things with it at a government level, I think the driver of government taxes is not going to be efficiency, it's going to be revenue. It's going to be how do we get ourselves out of debt. So they're not going to change their sort of approach, their posture towards taxpayers, really. Maybe I'm cynical, but yeah. I don't know, is there a different view? I don't know. Maybe that's a bit too cynical. Do you have a view yourself?
Honestly, I come from a policy background, so I do have a view.
Okay.
It's very hard for someone like a client to talk on a specific matter.
Yeah.
But it would be different if there was like a few of very similar matters that came about to drive that system change.
Oh, you mean just like making policy submissions?
So they're currently now accepting policy submissions.
Yeah. Oh, we do those.
It's not a public consultation.
Yeah,
It's easy for a lawyer to do it and not me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, well, we do policy submissions. I don't know about the whole of system things, but yeah, we do that. Yeah, we do that. If we see 4 or 5 clients involved in something and there's, you know, a call for submissions, or we know that there's a committee or something, then we definitely send in submissions. Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. One final question.
Hello, Sam.
Hey.
You mentioned at the beginning that you get taxed on everything that you sell or money that you make.
Everything.
But I've been hearing, and you can tell me true or false, is that going to change because some people have been saying that they're going to start taxing you on proposed gains.
Yep.
Is that true?
It's true. They're trying. That's what they're doing in super. They're trying to tax you on unrealised gains. I think that's been knocked over the head. So they're not going to do it. But what they are going to do instead of that is they're going to say that if you are lucky enough to be in the sort of higher balances above, I can't remember what the number was. They changed the number, but maybe it's 3 or 3.2 or something. But they're just going to tax you at a higher rate. So they're going to not tax you on unrealised stuff, but super could be taxed at 40%. So we are seeing a shift in people's attitudes, especially in the 30-something, 40-something age bracket, of if they do have investable funds, in the past they would say put it in super, make some money, pull it out after 60, tax-free, or start a pension, da-da-da. Now it's like, well, if I put it in super, it's locked away for 30 more years. And then when I do, and everyone plans to be rich. No one plans to be struggling, but everyone's different, circumstances and results. But everyone thinks I'm going to make that money. So if I'm going to invest it and make that money, why would I make that money locked away and get taxed the same as what I would have been taxed and have access to the money if something bad happens, right? So I think the whole idea of super is going away from an investment vehicle and more towards a savings vehicle for income replacement, not for investment. So, and that's what the government wants. So, yeah, that's what they'll do.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you give a huge round of applause?
Yay!
All evening and on a few occasions as well. Once a month, you've locked them in, George. Well done. Ladies and gentlemen, dinner is going to be served right now. Please do mingle. Let's have a good time together, and then we'll come back after dinner and do